Hello everybody and welcome to this new video. As you may have read from the title, we are going to talk about this new Delex electric wheelbarrow here behind me. And what can I say? So far it is the best electric wheelbarrow that I have tested. It is the one that I absolutely prefer for many reasons. And now I will list them all. So let's start with this new video and I hope you will enjoy it. But first of all, let's unload everything from the trailer because I got off late from work yesterday. And now I'm going to unload it to show you the wheelbarrow and talk about it. This is the XE500H. There are two different boxes. This one is the dumper box, and that's the one that I use most, and I prefer it because it doesn't have sides to open, and you don't waste time to fix it. You can load it with sand, stones, wood, and then you can unload, because its shape is the same of the tracked mini dumpers produced specifically to do these operations quickly. The maximum length of the XE500H is 1 meter and 72 centimeters. 77.5 centimeters wide, so it's very narrow and it's perfect for my work. Its batteries last an infinite amount of time. Once fully charged, then you forget to recharge it again. We have worked with it for months. We have been using it so much in our farm, and mostly for my landscaping business and for construction works, for garden creation and other works. I used it to move wood chip, sand and stones inside the gardens, soil from the excavator directly to the gardens, and then either directly to the trailer or other places. We realized beautiful gardens. We have used it a lot and I've charged it once, only once. It's amazing. The battery really lasts so long. It is really incredible. Last week we moved 6 cubic meters of dirt. We dug it with the Delex mini excavator and loaded on it. Then loaded on the trailer because I couldn't put it near where I was digging. And so we go up and down from the trailer. As you can see, my ramps are wrong. They are too short and so very steep. But this machine goes up there. It rumbles a little when it's wet in the morning. It goes up and down on it even if full of dirt. Oh, it is really very comfortable. And as it is electric, it doesn't make any kind of noise, and I love it for that. Before this one, I used an engine-driven one, and at the end of the day, I had a headache because of the noise and vibrations. This one instead is very quiet, and so I can start working at the customer's properties early in the morning at 7:30, because I don't make any noise. And then this is the thing that I like the most. It turns at 0 radius because the traction is in the two front wheels. Back wheels are pivoting like a shopping cart or a baby stroller. And you can also turn it around in a narrow space. Great. It is very comfortable. Effortless, even when it is full of material. If you distribute the material well, the XE500H doesn't force anything. In any case, it has no big problems because the wheels are very wide. Even the rear ones. There is no more to say. This is the perfect wheelbarrow. Perfect for gardening and perfect for construction works too inside the buildings. As the wheels are so articulated, it does not leave marks on the floors, on the concrete, It doesn't leave the classic black marks of the tires or tracks because it doesn't crawl even when you turn, when you maneuver, even when it is fully loaded. It does not leave marks on the ground, and therefore regardless the surface will always be preserved. The wheelbarrow that I used before with tracks was not the same. With every little maneuver I would ruin the ground. It left marks because it would peel off the grass doing maneuvers. It would leave marks, and also on the driveways flat we made a mess every time. We left that model to do those kind of work, and we use it only on the farm for rougher works and not anymore where we have to be careful not to ruin anything, like in resorts or even in private gardens. This is definitely the wheelbarrow to use. There is nothing more to say. It has been a breakthrough. Really a breakthrough. The wheels, and obviously they rotate at 360 degrees, but you can lock them. For example, I lock them here when I load it on the trailer so that it doesn't turn. The wheels remain blocked because if I leave them free with the vibrations, it might move if it is not well tied. So I lock the wheels in this way, and it doesn't give me any problems at all. In fact, I have also locked them even going in downhill on steep and lateral slopes, because having the pivoting wheels behind, it tends to turn and you have to use force to keep it straight. So on downhills like this I keep them locked. But it always has a bit of fluctuation, especially here, because this is a floating bar made to absorb bumps, but especially the roughness of the ground. So the wheels are always leaning because they are free, not fixed on the wheelbarrow. Or at any rate, that little bit of fluctuation that allows me to make those little swerves and be able to go straight. That's a great thing. This is, in my opinion, a very important device, and it is very useful on this type of electric wheelbarrow. Now I tip the bucket to show you the hydraulic tipping and the batteries. Here, it's a little dirty because I was working with it until now. Here we have the batteries that really last a lot, and here we have the oil pump. This is the motor for the front wheels, the piston connected to the pump, and then all the electrical connections that come above here. The pump is a classic 12-volt pump with a tank of more or less 5 liters, and there is not much to say. I will show you here on the label some data. 48 volt is the power of the pump and everything else. 1.5 liters per minute. Here we have the control panel. Also, this is a little bit dirty. Here in the middle, the battery charge indicator. We are not even halfway, and I charged it a month and a half ago last time. This switch is the battery lock. Here we have the lights. First and second are the lights. This is the speed control. Now it is at 0. Faster, less fast. This is for the tipping of the bucket. This is the key to turn on and off the electric engine. And then the handlebar with the double safety. To start it here, it always takes 2 hands. Now the illumination. Here there is a LED spotlight, very powerful, that pretty much illuminates the part of the bucket because it illuminates at the top. Here. This light is pretty powerful. As you can see, we are in the daytime and you can see the light that it makes on my hand. It really makes a lot of illumination in the whole part of the bucket. So when we are loading and it's dark, or we are in a building, we can see clearly what we are doing, especially if we are near a mini excavator. And then the other switch is for the front light. This allows us to illuminate even under the body and understand where we're going. Because with just that light, it is hard because the bucket, especially if it's full of material, makes a shadow in front and you can't see where you go. With the second light here, you will see very well everywhere. Besides, the front side is made of steel and it's all sturdy. He took some hits in the last few days, but nothing was ruined. We said 1.7 meter long from here to the handles, 77.5 centimeters wide. What does that mean? It means we can enter an apartment because the doors are wider than that, and you can move between rooms and go out without any problem. You can even move in narrow spaces. Because of the zero radius, it turns in practically zero space. We don't have to maneuver it to move in narrow places. It is not comparable as traction to a four-wheel drive wheelbarrow, and especially we can't compare it to a tracked mini dumper because obviously the traction capacity is different, but they are also different machines from each other and used for different purposes. EXE 500H, however, has a good traction. It can climb quite well in steep uphills, even in dirt. It has a little difficulty when the dirt is beaten and there is dusty gravel on top, because it tends to skid, especially and exclusively when it is full. If empty, it goes up everywhere. But as with the car with forward gear, when uphill it skids, just put it in reverse gear and it gives a lot more weight to the wheels. And it can go up well even in very, very steep places. I tried it and it worked. The weight is around 200 kilo. Electric motor for the wheels, 1000 watts, 48 volt. By the way, it has the automatic brake, an electromagnetic brake. When you let go of the accelerator, it brakes and stops, even if it is very steep downhill, even if it is full. It doesn't matter. Stop everywhere. The load capacity is 500 kilograms, and it holds them all. We tried by loading it with wet soil and filling it well. It pulls it very well. And importantly, the volume of this box is 236 liters, so it's very big. You work really well with it. But my personal opinion is that this wheelbarrow is great, very comfortable. It turns in narrow spaces, does not make noise. The zero radius is perfect because we do not ruin pavements, gardens, and everything else. The battery lasts a lot. It recharges in an acceptable time. It is safe because it is compliant with the normative. I think even from my face throughout the video, it is clear that I really like it. It's my favorite electric wheelbarrow. If I had to put it next to all the others that we have tried or that we have now in our farm that I use for work, for gardening and things like that, I wouldn't change it with any other because, well, for me it is perfect. The coolest thing about this wheelbarrow is that he uses it too. Eh? A wheelbarrow flying kick. What more do you want?